Gentlemen, boys and girls, I don't know where Chris Pepper is. I've started the show, I've started the thing, it's all live on Facebook. We are set to go. But unfortunately, my co host with the most is not here. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's still recovering from the weekend. I don't even know if he wants to show his face today. Oh, he's here. Chris. Oh my God, it's so great to see you, Chris. Whilst he's getting himself sorted, he's got a bit of a sad look. He's a bit of a sourpuss right now. I don't know how he's going. He's a bit emotional. I haven't really spoken to him about it, but he's just a couple of text exchanges back and forth. Chris, welcome to the show. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, everyone. I suppose let's just open up, Chris, with a bit of an emotion. We'll start with Feelings Corner. Chris, how are you feeling?
I don't know about you, mate. I can't wait for this season to finish. I'm over it. I'm over it. You know what? I'll put it this way, right? So g'day listeners and viewers and everybody who's on the chat with us already, on the podcast. I don't know about you, but you know when your team is that bad and you just don't want to turn up on Tuesday night knowing that we're going to have to record this. That's how I'm feeling right now. It is just... You know what? This is the only way I can put this in perspective. I was listening... This describes... Motley Crue said it best. This is what they said. It's the same old freaking situation. Again. Another week, another season, another situation. It is just crap. It's just, I don't know. It's just awful. It's just crap. That's all I can say, mate. That is all I can say. They were woeful on the weekend. They've been woeful all year. And you know what? They're going to be woeful for another 5 unless something freaking changes again. Can you believe I can say that? 2 years ago, we made a prelim. 2 years ago, we made a prelim. Now we can't even make anything in the forward 50. We are shit. Melbourne, you're shit. I'm over it, Jamie.
Your video's gone.
I know.
Even your video.
The video's even cracked it more than I have. Oh, it's just awful. You know, people out there watching that now or listening to this awesome podcast, get stuck into me. I'm a Melbourne supporter. It's never going to change. But just get stuck into me because we're poo. And to think that it's going to be any different any other year is just poo. It's beyond frustrated, mate. Beyond frustrated. Like I said, watching Melbourne is like going to the strippers. They tease, but they just don't deliver. Hands off.
Oh God! I was watching the game and I just could not. I was salivating having to talk to you about this game because
you were texting me after the game, going, "I can't wait to talk about your forward line." I've been counting down the hours. I've had a headache all day just thinking about what you're going to get stuck into me.
remember when you had a 24, 25-year-old 205 centimeter, 100 kilo plus forward in the name of do we even talk about his name anymore?
No. Listen, I've got a lot of time for the man named Jay Hogan, but he was always going to go back to Perth.
But then you told me in confidence, Jamie, we're fine, we're good. We've got Tom McDonald. He's kicked us 36 goals this year.
He kicked 50 that year. 50.
Was it?
Oh.
Can you guys hit a target in your forward? Can you?
Oh, we couldn't hit water if we fell out of a boat at the moment.
What I don't get is why do you have to handball so much in the forward 50?
Because
what do you do?
We are idiots. Anyone who watches the game on the weekend You got blokes running into goal. They're too scared to kick it. They're too scared to kick it. When we were growing up as kids, mate, if you're in the forward 50, don't even think about getting a handball. We're hogging that bastard. We're pinging the big sticks, mate. Now it's all this. Oh, you got to steer it around and make sure it's at the top of the square. Fuck bullshit, mate. Ping it from 50. Just ping it at the goals. You know who I've got a lot of respect for? And I'm going to mention him a little bit later on. Lachie Neale. How good was he on the weekend? What did he kick? He kicked 1 goal. No, hold on. Was it? No, Hugh McCluggage kicked 1 goal 5. Good on him. He's had 6 pings at the sticks. That's the way it should be played. Be greedy. Be a hog. Team players. Seriously, if only one person was greedy enough, we would have won that game.
What I love.
Oh, here we go. Oh, now they're coming out of the woodworks, aren't they? Here we go. The St Kilda people. Oh, here we go. Why don't we start talking about St Kilda after we beat Richmond? We'll get onto them later on, people. All right. Hey, so, look, we've got lots to talk about tonight. It's going to be a massive episode. Plenty of things to talk about. Most importantly, everybody tuning in tonight, tuning into the podcast, we love you. You're part of the Lace Out family. Get on the chat, leave a comment. Main thing is, be part of the show. You be part of the show. You leave a comment, we read it out. Unless you're someone that we don't like, and we'll just laugh at it. And we'll probably read it out. But anyway, just send it in. Be part of the show. You're with the great man, J-Dog. He's got Raise 10 City in the front of his shorts at the moment. He is just loving Port Adelaide. How is it? It's a corrupt footy season, and Port Adelaide decide to do something. When it's normal, they're going to be poo. They'll be poo next year. When it goes back to normal, they will be poo. But at the moment, you're playing some great footy, mate. I'm actually enjoying watching your mob.
As I said to
I actually reckon, there's a big reason why your team is playing great football at the moment. I've worked it out on the weekend. I worked it out.
We have a forward structure?
No, has nothing to do. Nothing.
Oh, dear.
Tarps.
Tarps.
They put tarps up behind the goals, and it felt like football park again for you. It was like your home game. You saw those tarps and no crowd, and it felt like you were back in Adelaide.
So why aren't Melbourne playing like there are no crowd like they get at their games?
Because we don't put tarps. No, we have no one. We can't. The fake crowd is throwing us off. Or we could use a heart as well. That's the other thing missing from our structure as well too, mate. Hey, listen.
So there's heaps to talk about. I've got a topic that I want to talk about.
You go first, mate. I normally start off with the first topic, but I think this week, I think you're going to be the host with the most, and I'm just going to be the man behind the stumps, just giving you the well played, Jamie. Let's keep going. What have you got for us?
The first one is I am sick to death of Alistair Clarkson whinging about the state of football. I'm sick to death of Chris Scott whinging about the state of football. Whinging at the game is slow. It's unwatchable. It's not good entertainment.
Yeah.
Peps, the last time I checked the old football records, which is never, the coaches have a huge say in how the game's played, and I'm pretty sure that Clarko started the chip pass possession game.
I think the chip pass, if you go back, it was when the Doggies beat the Dons. If you remember that game, when the Doggies beat the Dons, they chipped it around, chipped around everywhere, and they got the win. We're going back when Jesus played centre-half back for the Jerusalem Thirds, mate. That's how far back we're going. I think it was like when they lost their only game for the season.
Okay.
But I must admit, when I heard Clarko have a crack, I was rapt that he said it, because I understand. They had 63 tackles, mate, and did not get one drop on the ball. There is a little bit of merit in that. Okay, fair enough. But when Chris Scott comes out and says slowing the game, chipping the ball, etc., is ruining the game, I don't know what game you were actually coaching on Sunday, but that's exactly what your team did.
Yeah,
that's what their team did.
Yeah,
and probably under instruction as well. So don't give me the games. you coached your team to do that. All right? So stuff you off. I don't have any time for that. For Clarko, definitely I liked him having a crack at the umpires. You know what? I love the way he comes out and just says it. Okay?
Peps,
I would love my coach to show some sort of emotion. Do you remember in Police Academy? If you watched Police Academy 1?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember when they go into the dormitory and there's a hooker in the room and they have to hide the hooker, so they stick it under the lectern?
Yes.
And then the Commandant Lassard stands up in front to give a speech.
Yep. And she gets...
Yeah, and she gets a little bit... Mm-hmm. And he's like... All right. We need that. Yep. No, it was Captain Mauser. Thank you, very good, Lee Mack, on the chat. Captain Mauser. But I thought it was Commandant Lassard was the one who was, let's just say, getting the work under the table. What needs to happen is that they need to do that to Simon Goodwin under the table, so he will show some sort of emotion at a press conference, because it is the same boring shit every single time, and we're fed up. So when I see an opposition coach have a crack, I love it, because I want that in a coach. Because if you've got a coach who's like that, your team's going to play like that. And you know what? When you've got 47 flags in the last 48 years, like what's his name was, Hawthorn have had, I couldn't care what their coach does, because I want some success. And if you were in the same boat, you'd have the same success as well. So don't give me that.
But I find it pretty rich that, like, this is the Clarko ploy. His team's going crap.
Oh, he does deflect. He's a mirror. He reflects it.
And he has a whinge about the umpires. You watch from now on, Hawthorn are going to go from, like, here with their free kicks.
Oh, free kick, Hawthorn.
To, like, up here for the rest of the season. You watch this now. It is classic
Clarko for
10
Let's
years.
just see how many free dropping the balls I get next week. Dropping the ball. Yeah, and I do agree. The whole prior opportunity and incorrect disposal is another one. And I'll say it again. Another bullshit rule. It was dropping the ball. You get caught, it's dropping the ball. If you're not good enough to get the ball away, too bad. It's just crap, mate. It's crap.
No.
Nah.
For someone, Peps, you are an old school person who every season comes on this podcast and says, leave the game alone. And now you're asking for a rule change.
No, it's not a rule change. Mate, the rule has always been the same. It's how it's interpreted. That's the thing. It's how it's interpreted, Jamie. Get your head around it. Stop living in Port Adelaide, Port Adelaide freaking fantasy land for once. All right? Mate, it's the way it's interpreted. It's stupid. You want another one? How long does it take for them to ball the ball up at a stoppage? 10 seconds. Are you serious? Now, are you over there, John? Yeah, John's over there. And Peter, are you over there? Yep, beautiful. Now, both of you are going up for the ruck, aren't you? Is that correct? Yes. Now, I'm going to be making... Now, what he does is that they stand there and they go, now, I'm going to be making my way out this way. So stand out of my way when I throw the ball up, and I'm going to run backwards like this. Okay? Just throw the freaking thing up. It's not about you. It's about the players. And, if you do that, less people will run to the contest, and they'll spread quicker.
But think about it.
I'm thinking about it, mate. You're not.
Who was the main team that was the instigator of the third man up? Geelong.
No, Bulldogs were. The Bond used to come over the top. I want the third man up again, mate. I want the third man back in. Everybody was picking on the ruckman, not getting their fair share of tap-outs. The third man up at a boundary contest, if you go back 5 years ago, whenever the rule was in, a lot of that was used as an attacking move to get the ball out of the area. They'd come over the top and go bang. Geordie Lewis would do it a lot. The Bont would do it a lot. It was used as an attacking. Anything that's attacking gets pulled out of the game.
But it wasn't seen as attacking because it was seen as scrums, and there's another man at the contest, and it was taking the ruckman out of the game.
That's crap, Jamie.
They did it.
Absolute crap. The ruck nomination is a farce. The 666, mate. Wait, seriously, I'll get the Groundhog Day theme going in a moment because we talk about this every week. The 666. It's the biggest crock of shit that's been rolled out in the last 5 years as well. It hasn't made one difference to. It's only made one difference to one game, which was the Melbourne Gold Coast game last year. That's it. Teams used to come off the back of the square as an attacking move. You've got 100 minutes to win a game. If you flood because you're 5 points up with a minute to go, fantastic. That's the position. The AFL should not continually modify. Leave the game as it is. And I'm just sick of it. I'm just freaking sick of it, mate. And I'm sick of the way, and I'll keep going because I'm out of control tonight. The other thing that I'm sick of, I'm a Melbourne supporter, right? This is going to be the 4th week in a row that we've been stuffed by the freaking AFL COVID shit, all right? First game, yeah, the cameras even cracked it. The first game, we got stuffed because we were told 1 hour or an hour and a half before the first game that the season's going to be cancelled against West Coast, so the blokes couldn't even give a shit. The second week turned up. Essendon, once again, another false positive. Our game got cancelled, so we had a bye. We turn up against Geelong after having a week off through no fault of our own because some other nuff COVIDed up. And then, because of what the hell is this, what the hell's this thing going on? The COVID stuff up in Queensland, we're planning to play Sydney and Sydney. Oh, fantastic. We'll just stuff you up again and you're going to go and have to play Richmond. Like, come on, give it a break for Christ's sake.
Why didn't you just
over it?
Everyone said move to the hubs.
I can't wait for the A-League to start.
Everyone said move to the hubs. And Melbourne teams are like, no, we're not going to the hubs. No, we're travelling away from our families. Suck it up, Melbourne teams. Get it done.
That's
Stop
true.
whinging about it.
Yeah, it's true. We've just lost this out. But no, it's true. I agree, mate. I agree.
Should have gone to a hub.
We should have gone to a hub. But we didn't go to a hub, and that's what's happened, and we can't do anything about it, and that's it.
Well, don't back down now, Peps. You were fired up 2 seconds ago. Now you're backing down.
I'm still fired up. I'm just peeved, mate, that they just can't leave things the way it is. Stuff other clubs around, for Christ's sake. But my club is shit, so let's move on to something else.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Can we talk about your
What do you
mob?
got?
Can we talk about your
Okay.
mob? Your mob's awesome.
Yeah.
I love watching your mob. Grass. Mate, tell me, in the comments, people, when you're listening to this podcast, listening to the live show, tell me if you've got some Port Adelaide love, because I have. I love Port Adelaide at the moment. They're playing exciting mate, you're playing exciting football. You're attacking football. You've got meters gained more than most other clubs. I think you're demolishing clubs in the meters gained you're getting at the moment. It's just, you're just playing some sexy football. I love it.
Can't disagree.
Oh, no, you're not going to disagree.
But if you look at, well, let's sort of, I'll leave Hawthorn in there, I suppose. But look at the top 3 teams.
Yep.
Port, Gold Coast, Brisbane. What's the one thing they're all doing that other clubs aren't doing?
Attacking football, my friend.
We are attacking. We're not trying to run the clock and play this bullshit chip around. Just go for it.
Mate.
Although we have got this year, we've actually got a forward line. We've actually got a
No. You don't have a forward line. You have someone that I will talk about later who is a genetic beast.
So we have
that only Tex could love to look like.
We have 3 talls.
We love the dick. Listen.
We have 3 talls, and then we have a half forward line that are just as gifted around their feet as the forwards.
It's a good when just football, when you watch teams play just nice, exciting football and you go, I wish we could do that. Yep. And there's a lot of teams going, I wish we could do that. You could, but your coach has got the reins on you too much. People are too scared to make mistakes. Your team is like, you know what, we make a mistake, who cares? We'll take it back down there and have another crack.
And Peps, you know, we've had this conversation now, 3's on our podcast. Port have played a lot of their games in their own forward 50, but couldn't kick the scores.
Yeah.
What would happen is these teams would get little cheapies over their back and just run it down to their goal line and kick because our press was too high. So we're locking it in.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But then we're getting scored on the rebound too fast. So what Port have done this year is they've adjusted that line and they've sort of brought it back about 25 metres.
Yep.
But still leaves a defender deep enough to catch the ones that are a kick over the zone. But it's locking the ball enough in so they get repeat forward 50. So they've found that balance at the moment. Now, that may just be we've played shitty opposition who haven't got a way to get around it. But you can only play who's in front of you.
And the thing is, the way that you've taken on the hub and the way West Coast have taken on the hub are two completely different manners. You've embraced it; they've whinged about it, and it's showing in the results as well. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you as well too, because this is our third year of Lace Out. I know a number of you have only discovered us this year. I don't know what planet you've been on because I've plugged the absolute crap out of it on social media for the last 2.5 years. Jamie hasn't had much good news to talk about. Let's be honest. But it's nice for him to get some success. I don't know how long it's going to last for. It might only be this year. Enjoy it for what it is, mate. Take the lids off. Enjoy it for what it is, mate. Let's put you in the full frame and just smile. Smile, mate. Smile. It's as simple as that.
It's good when it's there.
It's good when it's there. Hey, a couple of things I need to quickly whip through before we get into another topic in just a moment. Have you seen the news break that's happened tonight? Okay.
Yes, I have.
So, if anybody hasn't noticed that two Collingwood players, just doesn't this put a smile on your face? Two Collingwood. So, for our Collingwood listeners out there, two of your players have potentially broken COVID restrictions and are being investigated. And those two players are Lyndon Dunn and Steele Sidebottom, who apparently took an Uber together last Saturday night to visit a medical person from the team who hasn't been excluded from the lockdown. And it looks like there's going to be potentially games missed by both of these players. Now, Dunn is looking to be in the frame by getting back with the injury to Jeremy Howe, which was an ugly incident. If you haven't had a chance to see the photo of Jeremy Howe's leg after what happened on Friday night against GWS, it's disgusting. But the other thing is that Steele Sidebottom, who once again is playing some pretty good football at the moment, looks like he's going to miss as well. I don't know what you can say. You know the rules. You're getting paid buckets. Just if it's, my team have copped it, it's time for your blokes to cop it as well too. So I think they're going to have a week off this week. Thoughts, feelings? What's going through your mind right now, Jamie?
I don't think this is going to be a one and done, and I do think there's probably players have been against it lots and lots of times in this period. So, yeah, Collingwood's not going to be the first. I think it's probably a little bit disappointing that it's been senior players who have done it this time, and especially in a week, or it's last week, sorry, but you're looking at Jeremy Howe, Dunn, and what you said, with Sidebottom being out this week potentially. Well, Jeremy Howe for the season. Let's call it the season now. It just doesn't. It's not good timing. That's all. Not good timing.
Yeah, you reckon Bucks will get that beard out and flex the chest a bit at both of them and go, fellas. Yeah, that's not a conversation that you want to be. That's a conversation you don't want to be looking at. So I want to move from one breach to a major breach. Lockie Hunter has been charged by the cops today over his issues earlier in the year in April. A 25-year-old copped a 4-game suspension and a $20,000 fine. 15 grand of that suspended.
Yeah,
it's a $5,000 fine. 4 charges. But the thing is, he's potentially coming back this weekend. So what do you do?
Yeah, right.
Okay. If you don't remember, he hit 4 parked cars. Drink driving, it looks like. I'm not suggesting. That's 4 targets. That's 4 targets more than Melbourne hit on the weekend.
The charges are Peps.
Pardon?
The charges are drink driving, careless driving to give his name after a collision, and failing to render assistance after a collision.
Yeah, so he's done well. He's done well. I probably would recommend just next time this bloke better take an Uber. Even better, take an Ola or a Diddy. They give better vouchers. There's some free rides in there for him. But yeah, look, he's stuffed up. He's admitted it. He's just going to have to do it. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. It's not really good news for the great guy. He's coming back this week. But, what can you do? All right. What's on your plate, mate? I've got a couple more, but not a couple. I've got a fair bit to get through. But what have you got on your plate, mate? I'll handball it back over to you.
Well, I suppose the biggest one for me is around, and I can just see already that you and I might have a fight over this. I don't even know if I want to say it on this podcast right now. If the players are to go into hubs, there are some players who may opt to not be part of that, but still receive full pay. What's your take on that?
Say that again.
Not at a hub.
Did you say that again?
Him going into a hub, into all those rolling hubs they're talking about.
Yep.
Players who may not want to be part of that hub because of family reasons or whatever, but still receiving full match pay entitlements. Sorry.
So basically, they're going to get paid for doing nothing. So they've had 8 weeks off.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have to go to a hub for what, 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't want to go, they don't have to go and they'll still get paid.
Yeah. It's a rolling situation at the moment. It's
okay. Are we soft? Are we soft or what? Like, what? Yeah, they're professional sportsmen, for Christ's sake.
Trent Cotchin was the guy that he
good one to go to. Trent Cotchin, the guy who's got 2 kids married. Understandable. What about the 19-year-olds, mate, who just want to go up and party? All right.
Well, Richmond captain Trent Cotchin has said today that there is a genuine chance that some of his teammates will remain at home if the side is required to move to an interstate hub for several weeks.
Here's an idea, Trent Cotchin. Your team are going shit at the moment. You drag everybody up there. Look, I can understand if your wife's giving birth, etc. I get that. But do you know what? It's not the only bloody sport where things happen like this. The Australian cricketers go for months every year away from their families. Rugby goes away every year. NBA players are going away weeks on end. Professional wrestlers are on the road 250 days a year, and they're still able to live their lives, and they're getting paid. These guys have got 17 weeks. 8 of those they're going to be playing at home. 4 have already gone. So what are we looking at? What? 4 weeks maximum? So you're going to be... So let me guess right. You're going to be 4 weeks away from your family playing a sport and getting paid shitloads of money.
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody out there, but that would be fantastic. I would love that. I would love it.
This is the thing. If you are
a break,
player, don't you want to just play football?
Yes, you just want to play footy. Do you care where it is?
No. And I don't know. We've had this discussion before. I think maybe week 2 of of season 3. Shit, now I lost my point. Week 2 of season 3. So we'd spoken about this, and we may, maybe a bit harsh, but just do it. Just get it done, because you've been living under a rock. Nowhere in Victoria. No one's coming to Victoria. No one wants to go out of Victoria. We've had 10 suburbs locked down today that are going to be police patrolled at all the exits and spot checks and whatnots. Mm-hmm. Read the scene, guys. Literally, if you want to play this game, you have to move away from Victoria to keep this season going. It's as simple as that.
Oh, it's just the thing that annoys me more than anything is simply this. Why in that? Like, they are getting paid big dollars. You don't want to go, that's fine. You just don't get paid. You get base. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes don't think that they realise, A, how much of a fortunate position that they're in, but second of all, how much of the money that they're getting is extraordinary compared to the average wage. And I get that. I'm not going to go into that sort of thing. But I just don't think they realise how lucky they are.
Yep. Well, the flip side is...
You've got to have some sacrifices, for goodness sake.
the flip side is if the AFL, if this game gets cancelled this season, so Port obviously win the premiership. Heaven forbid. I mean, how bad would that be, right? Yay, power. But if the season gets cancelled again and they cancel the season, then the AFL could absolutely go to them and say, no games, no pay. Like, what product have you
Mate,
put
I'm
on
telling you
for
what,
season?
this league, or the AFL in itself, is not. I don't think that's what I was going to say. I don't think they realise how fragile the AFL system is at the moment. Local leagues have completely gone to smithereens. They're non-existent, and especially after the breaches today, leagues, especially across the West, are finished. Don't try and even think about starting because there's teams that can't even. You're not even allowed to play because of the COVID side of things. But the league's on a knife edge, mate. There's not as much money as people think when there's nothing coming in. Yep. It's being pulled out of a bank. What they took out a loan at the start of the year, guaranteed of $600 million.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've just got to give a bit of a sacrifice. Anyway, hey, quick question. Do you know the Power theme song, J-Dog?
I just saw that comment come
I don't
through.
reckon he knows it.
Get stuffed, Lee Mac.
Hey. What is it?
So, hey.
What is it? Go on.
Oh, no, we all know the middle bit. Stop to a top. That's a classic hook.
Yeah, you don't sing that too often, though, do you?
We always sing that.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's all about aggression.
He has got
tradition.
no idea how to sing the Port Adelaide theme song.
I'm actually at the moment teaching my little boy it, and he loves the bit of the power and goes power at the end. My little boy Huxley, he loves it, just starts screaming like, it's power. So I'm actually pretty excited about that as a new dad, teaching my son how to sing the Port Adelaide theme song.
Yeah, I'm still teaching my kids. They don't hear it enough. My kids only hear it once a weekend. That's when they run out. They don't hear it after the game all that often.
Peps, you could go to your employer right now and say, I want to take a year leave without pay.
Yep.
Go to them and say, I want to take a year with full pay, but not come to work.
I'd be laughed at.
The AFL or the clubs that have the players as employees, because they are employees of the club.
They are.
Can't they come to Capital Place and say, well, if you don't want to play at the hubs, you don't just get paid. You go home.
It's because of that the AFL Players Association. They wield too much power. AFL can't fart without the players having a whinge. Hey, can I talk about something? All right.
Yes, please.
I want to talk about someone. In a moment, very shortly, I'm going to go through my top 5 so far that I think that I've seen this year. But before I do that, there is somebody that I have to mention before we start. Mm-hmm. You're not going to like this, Jamie, but I'm going to have to bring this person into it.
The Chad was great.
Jamie, the Chad has been great. Don't shake your head. The Chad has been great. A regular contributor to this show, has been busting my chops over the last couple of weeks to mention this guy, the Chad. And there wasn't any real reason to. And we're talking about Chad. How do you pronounce his last name? How do you pronounce it, Jamie? Chad Wingard. Chad Wingard.
Sure,
yeah, you've already forgotten. Chad Wingard. And look, up until last year, hadn't been doing much at all. Okay, not Chad Brownlow, Chad Wingard. But he is having so far. Now, look, we're 4 games in, but on a 17-game season, we're already a quarter of the way through. Can you already believe that? He's having a pretty good start to the season. Can I just go through some of his statistics already? He's averaging 17 and a half disposals. He's already kicked 9 goals this year. He's first in bounces, third in the Coleman, 9th in total score involvements. And he's 8th in total meters gained as well. He's bringing the form back, mate. He's bringing the form that he showed with you when he made All-Australian. I don't think he's 9 votes Brownlow-wise that some people might be saying. I think there's a couple others who would be in front of him. But, mate, he's got a bit of his spunk back about him, mate. Like, can you just don't want to admit it, do you? I think I love the Chad. I think I love the Chad.
When the Chad is on, the Chad's on.
He's on. But can you admit that he's on?
At the moment, he's on. At the moment, he's on. And they're doing what he should have been done, is played through the centre. More midfield time. Yeah. I will admit that. Good midfielder. Really good midfielder.
Yeah. He's playing good footy, mate. Just admit it. When one of your players goes to when one of your players goes to another club, it's okay to say that, you know what, they're playing some good footy. Jeremy Howe wanted to play as a forward down at Collingwood because we were playing him as a backman. Went to a backman. Mate, I'm shattered he's got a bung leg. He's a good player. I like him. Reckon he's a bit of a downhill skier though?
Who?
Chad.
Yes and no. He when the team's playing well, he plays well.
Downhill skier. Is he the type of guy that would say, "Guys, get on my back and I'll drag you through this one"?
Yeah. No. Not him.
No. There's another one of your blokes that does that. I'm going to mention it in a moment. But I'm a bit just excited to see him play some good footy. He's got a bit of spunk about him. I don't care if he plays great footy all year. Just don't do it against the Demons.
Well, see, this is the thing. For Chad Wingard, and this is just two of the picks we picked out of this. For Chad Wingard, we got Ryan Burton and Xavier Dersma, Mr. Bow and Arrow himself. I think we won. I just think whatever happens, that is literally the trade last 10 years.
Well, everybody says, what's going on with Ryan Burton? But they forget about the Dersma. You forget about him. Part of the deal.
Part of the deal.
Yeah, I think you've still won that one, mate. I think you've still won it.
So,
but it's good to see him. It's good to see him playing some good footy, and I really like it. I really do like it.
Look, I will admit this, guy. This is on the podcast. I'll admit this is the one and only
Hawks
time
are not winning that. The Hawks are not winning at all. Who anyone who thinks they are, they're dreaming.
Okay, so I mean this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Chad Wingard go because he is such a Port person. Like, he was really upset at getting let go. Port didn't support him. That is, as a person to person, that's really heartbreaking because he was a through and through Port Adelaide person.
Yep.
To see him go. But, I mean, on the flip side of the business side of football, we got two guns out of it.
Yeah. So where's Burton at the moment? Burton injured?
Burton's injured, but he's back this week.
He's back.
And Xavier Dersma for 4 weeks.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right.
But I'll take those two over Chad Wingard any day of the week.
Ooh, controversial. Listeners, what do you think? Leave a comment on the Facebook page or on the chat as we speak. Rightio, what have you got for me?
What do I want to talk about with you? Well, did you want to talk about your man love from one of my players?
Yes, I will. He's part of my Pep's Top 5. Yep, it's another one of my introductions to Pop 5. So I'm going to go through my top 5 players who I think so far this year. Quick one. Really quick. Connor McKenna is back this week. Yep. Had a positive and then negatives. So has someone stuffed up there? Because it stuffed up your game. What's happened there, Peps? I don't know, mate. How can you be... You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. Hey, did Essendon win on the weekend? No. Did Essendon win on the weekend? Listeners, can you let me know? Or can anyone tell me in the chat, did Essendon win on the weekend? Who did they play? Can you remember who they played? I can't remember who they played. Who did they play? Oh, that's right. They played Carlton. Yes. Oh, that 1 point. 1 point. I was shattered when that happened. Not. It was a 90-meter run, wasn't it, or something like that? 90-meter. They even got it. They got a 90-meter like penalty, and they were beaten by a Liam Jones Falcon on the goal. Right. Oh, hey, by the way, do you know who has done absolutely nothing so far this year? Who's that? Other than Richmond? Who? Oh, I haven't got his song. Yes, I have. Ready? Anthony McDonald tip and we. Anthony McDonald tip and we playing footy. Making it to corners when you're thinking that he couldn't. Arms like Gunny and hand like the predator. Just when you thought he couldn't get any better. He can't get any better because he has done nothing this year. See what happens? Someone writes a song about him. He hasn't done anything since. He's going to get dropped. He needs a haircut. He needs a haircut. No, that was a great game. That was a great game to watch the end of. Because damn, I was cheering Carlton home something chronic that game. Come on. Come on, Blues. Doherty was back at his best. He's playing great footy at the moment, Doherty. This guy's come off 2 knee recos and he's just picked up from where he left off. All Australian. And he's going to go All Australian again. Alrighty. Yep. So, I have ready to go my top 5 players that I have noticed so far this year. And I will have an apology to the Chad because he didn't make my top 5. When I started thinking about this, other people sort of did it the same way and very similar names. So it must be that either I copied them or we just have great minds. So introducing for today is my top 5 players after round 4. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very much. All right. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be fantastic. All right. Now, these are in no particular order. Okay, because I've tried to put in a forward, I've tried to put in a backman, and I've probably chucked in 3 midfielders. That's how it sort of goes at the moment. Alrighty. So can I start with number 5? And when I say number 5, he's just number 5 on the list, but number 1 in Jamie's heart, and that's Travis Boak. He is having a sensor. He's actually got better since losing the captaincy. I think he's getting better since he lost the captaincy. He's like a fine wine. He's just getting better.
Also gone back into the centre as well.
Oh,
big
mate.
Change. Big change with Rob.
Can I just go through some of his stuff? All right. This is some of his statistics so far just for the year, all right? All right. Total inside, he's number 1 for total inside 50s. He's number 1 for goal assists. He's averaging 23.5 disposals. Number 3 in the league for score involvements. He's number 12 in the league for meters gained. He's just beast mode. Mm-hmm. He's just playing great footy. And I tell you what, that's where I was talking about where he puts the team on his back and says, fellas, just come with me. All right?
Yep.
Big chance he's up there in the Brownlow. He goes all right pulling Brownlow votes, but he started the year. He could be up there probably 7 to 8 votes already, just based on what we do. He's just loving it up there in the hub. And like I said, I do love what you guys are doing over there in Port, but geez, I just love a midfield that just goes and gets his own ball and just does everything. It's just,
Can I jump?
Yep.
How good is it that we're talking about Port Adelaide? Not that you care.
I do look, mate. I give Port Adelaide a fair bit of crap because they, want to try and bring in another jumper that a team already has, and you got tarps over the seats, and yeah.
But how good is it we're talking about Port Adelaide and we don't even have to mention Robbie Gray because at the moment he's had a terrible season and yet we're still fine.
Mate, that's even better because then when he starts to peak, boy, champagne showers. All right, let's get into number 4. Number 4 is, now, a lot's been said about this bloke already, and I'm not going to bang it home, but is he the best redhead in the league right now? And I'm talking about an 18-year-old bloke. I watched his game on the weekend against Fremantle, and he literally took the piss. Matt Rowell, 18-year-old. Now, I tried to write his stats down, and the interesting thing about his stats are different to what they produce for everybody else. Because they compare him as a person from a rising star perspective. He has gone absolutely out of control, what he's done this year so far. His stats are unbelievable. He's like contested possessions, clearances, inside 50s, score results, meters gained, disposals, handballs, kicks. He's just destroying everybody. He is an absolute beast. He's kicked 6 goals, considering that the leader in the Coleman's on 11. He's averaging 21 touches a game. He is just a beast, Ed. He's just a beast. He's probably got 9 Brownlow votes out of 4 games already.
Yep.
To the point, our mate Chris Scott this week is going to tag him.
Mm-hmm.
He made, like, I don't know if you saw the footage. There was one bit in the middle where he grabbed the ball. Nathan Fife packed himself when he went near him. He just threw him off. He's just a big boy, big body, and he is an absolute gun. And if anybody says anything different, oh, mate, he's going to be... I'll tell you what, sometimes it's like looking in a mirror when I see him play, but with red hair, not blonde, now brown and receding. Yep. So he is an absolute jun. All right. Let's have a look at a backman now. I want to go into a backman because the backman out there, we haven't left you alone. We've got someone here for you. This guy's from the Brisbane Lions, Harris Andrews. Absolute machine. So he's number 1 in the league for intercepts, second for 1%ers, first for intercepts per game. And he's actually spent he's the 4th most amount of time on the ground. He was magnificent against. It was magnificent on the weekend. He just holds that back line down, something chronic. The other one I was writing at, and I started writing his name down, I realised I got it wrong. If I had to throw another one to go exact with him, I'd be going Jacob Wiedering. Because his last couple of years haven't been that flash. And one of the main reasons why Carlton are getting some consistency because Wiedering's playing some good, consistent football as well too. But Harris Andrews, he's another young gun. He just sits at that 4. He just jumps at everything. Absolute star. And Brisbane are very, very lucky to have him. All right. That was number 3. So number 2 is another Brisbane guy. And look, we sung his plaudits last year, but he's just started this year amazingly well. And that's Lachie Neale. First for disposals, contested possessions, total scorer involvements, effective disposals. He's number 1 in Supercoach. It could be, if he kicked straight on the weekend, he could have been leading the Coleman.
Yeah.
He is an absolute gun. And to think he came from Fremantle and wanted to go to Brisbane, it's just like, he's just doing everything right. And it's great to see. And he's just a beast. And he gets the ball and he uses it so well. He's just getting better and better. Love it. Love it. But, so far it's been Boak, Matt Rowell, Harris Andrews, Lachie Neale. This guy, I'm putting him at number 1. But from when I say number 1, he's not just number 1 in this 5. He's just number 1 that I just had to put in there. And I'll tell you what, Jamie's going to love this. It's not Connor Rosie, but it is someone from Port. It's Charlie Dixon. Now, he's been promising just to take games apart for a long time. He was okay when he was up at the Gold Coast, but something just wasn't there. It just goes to show if you do a mad preseason and you have a look at his rig, like seriously, he's Rambo 3 shredded. That's how good he is. He's Rocky 4 versus Drago shredded. That is awesome. So he's kicked 11 goals. He's averaging 3.7 per game. I don't know how he kicked three and a bit goals a game, but he's leading the Coleman. He's missed the first game. He's first for contested marks. He's first for marks inside 50 per game. He is shredded. And his hands. Have you seen the size of his hands?
Yeah.
Mate, it is like, it was mentioned on one of the footy shows. It was like he's holding an Auskick ball. Okay. Tom McDonald was very stiff. Tom McDonald was very stiff not to get into my top 5 worst players. Because I might have to roll that out next week. And if he continues what he's done in the first 4 games, he could be leading that one. But, oh, mate, I love the Dick. Big Dixon. I would love... You know why I love him? Because that's exactly what I need. Not Dix. I want Dixon in the D's forward line. He's just a brute, mate. And you can just see the hard work has paid off. He's going to be a massive difference for you, mate. It just takes the pressure off the other ones down there, the younger blokes, to know that you've got this big unit to kick to. In most cases, he's going to mark it. And his kicking has been fantastic as well too. So if I round it off, like I said, top 5, Boak, Harris Andrews, Charlie Dixon, Lockie Neal, Matt Rowell, they'll be my top 5 players that I've noticed this year. If you want me to do the bottom 5 players next week, or the top 5 promised so much and under-delivered so far, let me know in the comments and I'll get that organised for next week.
Yep.
What do you reckon?
Okay.
What do you reckon? Who's missing from the list? Who did I forget?
Connor Rosie. Simply.
Anyone outside of your team would be good.
Okay.
You know the other one who I thought, the other one I thought who's actually going all right is good old Tom Papley. He's having an all right start to the season, considering the Swans aren't really doing all that much either. Yeah, I know. Joe Danaher, yep. Well, so I would have put Joe Danaher in my bottom 5. The only issue is that you've actually got to get on the park before you can actually show me that you're doing nothing. All right, so can't put that one in there, unfortunately.
I'm surprised to see that Stephen May didn't get a mention, or
look, hey, stop pot shotting my group, mate. All right, we can.
Or Jake.
Hey,
amazing.
Stop pot shotting. All right. Hey, some of the things coming through on the chat at the moment is Jai Simpkins had a great year. Jared Witt, tell you what, he got discarded. I said this last week. If you remember, I spoke about how well the Suns are going. 3 wins in a row. First time that they've done it in a year.
Yeah.
But he has just taken that role on as captain, and he's doing an amazing job up there. He must be loving his football. Like I said, him, Jared Harbrow, David Swallow would be just loving football at the moment up there. Just with these young kids bringing some enthusiasm into the club.
Be in the list somewhere, I reckon. Zerha would be somewhere there.
Zerha, I didn't have him on there, but apparently a few people have been saying that he's been going all right as well too.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. Everybody's got an opinion. You know, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. Okay, so exactly stuff. Rightio. Hey, is there anything that you want to kick into, or any viewer questions that we've got that have been delivered through?
We'll just wait a couple of minutes for the viewer questions, and you and I can just talk some crap if you want to. How was your day today, Peps?
Yeah, good, mate. Just absolutely flat out. This working from home, the only thing I miss with working from home is like I get to speak to people on Zoom all day, and that's okay. You just need that human interaction. And then you realise that, you know, the kids and that are on school holidays. You wish they would leave.
Yeah.
Okay? All the parents out there who have been home by themselves, and then the school holidays start, you want them to go back to school.
Yep.
You know, but unfortunately with some of the areas around me that have been hit by these COVID bans.
You guys have been hit, haven't you, Taylor's
Hill?
No,
I'm lucky. Taylor's Hill, mate.
Taylor's Lake?
We're fine. Yeah, Taylor's Lakes. Lake, because I've only got one lake. Yep. But my postcode was free.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're really happy about that.
I'm on holidays this week.
Just a couple of things before the questions come in. And can I first and foremost say good work, St Kilda, beating Richmond on the weekend. Richmond are woeful at the moment, aren't they? They just can't get it together.
Ali.
They need to start singing Eye of the Tiger and stop singing Kumbaya, I think, before games, because they're coming out. Is it because there's no crowd? I think it could be because Gold Coast are playing fantastic with no crowds. Maybe they're used to that type of environment. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Lee Max is in your head shave.
Yeah, look, they're picking on my hairlines. They're just jealous, mate. I actually got a haircut the other week.
It was good the other day. You had it all Lego done.
Yeah, had it all done. I'm going to try and grow like a faux mullet.
How's the skateboard going?
Yeah, bought a skateboard on the weekend. Fantastic. Had a stack. Almost got a concussion.
Do you have elbow? Do you have like the little wrist guards?
Nah. Just go out there. Just go out there. Skateboard. Just up and down, mate. Go back up and down. It's fantastic. Do it with my daughter. She's a superstar.
I thought you were brave getting a just a regular deck and not like a big longboard or something.
Nah, I wasn't going to go longboard. Nah. Just picked myself up an element deck. Just a few kick flips, a few 50-50s, couple of nollies. Yeah, you know how it goes. Yeah. It's all good. Dude. It's all good. Hey, quick question. What before we wrap up this amazing week, anything that really caught your eye before we wrap up this edition?
What caught my eye this week? Do you know what? It's probably been This week was probably St Kilda. No, Carlton. I'm going to go Carlton this week. Gritty. They held on now games in a row.
And you know what? If they just lost to us, so they could have won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gritty. Carlton are very gritty.
Actually,
that's what I like.
I have noticed one thing. I'm just looking at the crowd that listens to our listens to the podcast. We've got our international Mark the Stud over in England and his gorgeous girlfriend. So hello to you, and looking forward to your comments on this podcast. I'm looking at they're picking on my hairline. A lot of the people on the chat today in this live edition of the Lace Out podcast on our Facebook page, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night. Do you know we are a very follically challenged? We have a very follically challenged audience. So Buzzer's given me someone on the solar panels. He's got hardly anything left. Lee McKenzie is an absolute toe ball, and Habibi Burmo, like he's got a head like a busted arsehole and a head that needs regular panel beating anyway. So, like they're picking on us as the hosts and our hairlines. Once again, don't go throwing stones in glass houses, gentlemen. Okay, you're not that. See this thing? It's called hair. Things that you can only dream of. All right, rightio. I reckon that's it for this week, mate. I've had an absolute cork up. But everybody who's tuned in today, thank you once again. Like I said, leave a comment on our Facebook page. Get on Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. If you write it, we'll read it out. It's as simple as that. If you want more and more people to get on and be part of this show every single week, tell them about it. All right? Get on the chat. Be part of the show. Be part of the family. We love it every single week. So, on behalf of me, Chris Pepper, the superstar, J-Dog. J-Dog, how do you love your footy, mate?
I like it lace out and power on top.
Yeah, you love being on top. Like the ladies. Have a fantastic week, listeners. We'll see you this time next week. And remember, tomorrow night, tune in, tipped out, our tips every week. Go D's. Have a great week.
Bye, listeners.